Y'all, this store is crushing it. It is an example, a great example of a volume store that is working. And so today's video, I'm doing a store review. I do them live sometimes, and when I can't get to all of them, I will randomly go throughout the month to pick a store from it and do an uploaded store. This one, we're going to learn a ton from what they can do right. I'm going to look at their numbers because I really do want to be making more money and give some suggestions on how they can increase their sales and get those numbers that they want to get. So I do want to say first, congratulate this store. They are absolutely crushing it. Based off of their Google form that they filled out, they are at a 40% sell-through rate, and they're selling women's fashion. On average, on eBay, women's fashion is about a 5% sell-through rate. So teach me your ways. You are crushing it. My guess would be, because you currently have 96 items sold on eBay and you have 190 available. So that math doesn't add up for those 41% of your sell-through rate coming from eBay. I know you're on other platforms, and I think it's probably other platforms that are really pushing that over. So if you can increase your eBay, you are going to be unstoppable. Let's take a look at what this store is doing correctly, and then I'll give some suggestions on how they can increase their eBay to absolutely just crush this market. Hey friends, if I am speaking too quickly for you, do feel free to slow me down. You can click up here on your YouTube screen, scroll all the way down to playback speed, and put me on the speed that is most comfortable for you. Now let's get back to it. Sally's Boss Babe Closet. So some things here that they are doing awesome on eBay. They do have a store, and I know this because they have a banner. They have a logo right here as well. I'm going to link a video up here on why a store is helpful. It's not just from you're going to save money on listings. It's for all the other features that come with it, and they are using some of those features. If you go down to your about, I know I'm not to the suggest part yet. They do have this filled out. I would probably increase it a little bit more, maybe put a video with it, make people connected to you, but we will come back to that. Popular, this is why you have a store, because you want people, there are millions of fashion sellers on eBay. You want them to come to your store. You want them to easily be able to find what they want, and you want it to be a whole experience, right? You don't want it to be a garage sale or they're going to eBay and they just buy from who they buy from. The way here I am giving more tips. We'll get to it in a minute, but the way that you can get more people on, this is why it's working. The way that you can get increased sales, and they're doing this great, is by using those store features, putting Popular here. When people come to your store, it's something that they want to stay on. I am going to say this, don't use stock photos. You will get a Vero. You can get shut down. I would never use a stock photo unless you have permission, and I haven't looked at the listing, but unless you have permission, do not use stock photos. eBay is do not use stock photos. So that's one thing we got to be mindful of. Their photos, though, however, are absolutely fantastic. A white background, eBay does. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to look at the whole listing. eBay does say to do a white background. It is best practice. They have said they no longer deny or reject on eBay or Google, but they do still say, eBay and Google do still say it is best practice. It also makes it pop. It makes me see clearly exactly what I'm looking at. You can see they have photos of the tag. They have photos of the sleeve. I'm going to go ahead. Have you noticed that eBay has changed this to where you can just go directly to the cart? This is interesting because we have so much information in our listings, and now it's one step more before the buyer can actually see it. So keep that in mind. Their titles are great. I would not use an NWT. eBay has said not to use that. It's not necessarily necessary in a listing because there is a drop down for it. If you are going to use it, they say not to use acronyms. eBay for Business podcast recently said that, not to use acronyms, and I would put it maybe towards the end. The most important things for the title that they are doing, though, is Lane Bryant. The SEO reads left to right, and so the most important things, the most search volume. If you're not sure what that is, when you're going through a listing and eBay has requirements on your listing, the acquired item specifics, those requirements are based off of buyer behavior. Those are the top searched item specifics for whatever you're listing. Those are the top searched ones. Those are the SEOs that you want to put in your title, and then other things that people might be searching for as well. I don't think that they need to put size in here. If there was something else that they maybe could put in, it's not a necessary for SEO. If they have the extra characters, it's fine, but if you're trying to get something else in, you can take that out as well. Shipping, pricing is good. They have returns accepted. Shop with confidence. I didn't look to see if they're top rated. Let's go back to their store and see if they are top rated. Okay, so we'll get to that. Spoiler alert! That's one of the things they should work on. Returns accepted. Their shipping price is good. Their returns, they do have returns set on. However, they have it set to 14 days, and the buyer pays for return shipping. So we'll get to that in a minute. Return set on is good. Similar sponsored. So if you're looking at promoting your listings, this is where it's showing up. If someone is looking for this item up above and they say, hey, I scroll down, I want to see some more information, and now an item that's very similar comes up. This is where your item goes if you are looking at return shipping. Lies, not return shipping. If you're promoting your items, it's going to get more visibility on your items. Now, item specifics, return and shipping. Like I said, their shipping is, the pricing for shipping is probably pretty competitive. If you're not sure if your shipping is competitive, then you can go ahead and take a look at Terapeak. I'll link a video up here. Research what you're looking at, and it'll tell you the average shipping cost that sellers have. So that's going to tell you if you're competitive or not, if your shipping is just completely outrageous, and you need to kind of work on that as well. So they definitely have a great store. You can tell that they definitely have reselling. They know they have great photos, they have great SEOs. There's just a couple things in eBay that they need to work on to increase those numbers. So let's take a look at those numbers and see exactly where they're sitting at. That's not it. That's still eBay. All right, this is the platinum formula for resellers, friends. Before you click off and say, oh my God, that's so much math, Sarah, I don't like math. This is going to help them get to where they want to go. I'm going to walk you through exactly what it's doing. This is a spreadsheet that's for sale, so you don't have to do all the math behind the scenes. You simply put your numbers in, you put your gross revenue goal, and then it does all the math for you and tells you what you need to do. So like I said, currently they're at a 41% sell-through rate. That's absolutely fantastic. So they obviously know how to resell. They need to work on reselling on eBay. I would venture to say that maybe they're new to eBay or they're trying to get momentum on eBay, and I'm going to share some great tips to increase that as well. They have 201 active listings. When they filled it out, when we looked, it was like 190, but they're right around 200 active listings. Their average sale price is $17. This is a perfect example of when the volume game is working. You can have a lower average sale price if you have a high sell-through rate, right? They want to get to $8,000 a month coming from $1,400. It's going to be pretty heavy and hardy to get there. Let me look and see how many hours they're currently working, because that's going to depend as well. So they're working 10 hours. I'm going to actually put, that's a big goal. I'm going to actually put 12 months. I'm going to put a year in here, because that is a pretty big goal to get, almost 8 times the gross revenue that you had before working 10 hours a week. If they keep everything the same, they need to be listing 6 a day. They need to get to, really increase their active listings, because they are killing it on other platforms and not quite there on Poshmark, or not quite there on eBay. I honestly think with some tips that I'm going to share, they could get their average sale price, or they could get their sell-through rate to like 55%, because they know how to resell. They just need to do a couple things, couple twerks, some really easy things that are definitely going to help increase their sales. So now they're only having to get to 856 active listings, which is much more manageable and doable for their current status. So let's take a look at what they can be doing to work on increasing those sale price, to increase the active. Take it back. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. Things that they can be doing to increase their sell-through rate. Golden formula strategies. This is what we're looking at. Thanks for bearing with me. Golden formula strategies. I think they can work on increasing their sell-through rate, because they know what they're doing, right? I think it's just not translating over to eBay. So we're going to work on increasing their sell-through rate on eBay, running sales, offers promoted, listing quality, cross-listing, volume seller, ASP, in demand. These are all things that are going to help you increase your sales on eBay. And when I want to talk about what I think they really need to be doing is working on their traffic, right? So now we do want to look at this one. This is another downloadable. You guys can link it down below. If you're in a gold member, these downloadables that I am showing you are part of the membership that you get for free. But they need to increase their impressions. Their sales conversions are not coming through because they're not getting the impressions up here. They're new to eBay. They need to get their impressions. They need to get their items seen, and then they'll make the sales. I'm positive of it because they have such a big high sell-through rate. They know what they're doing. Their listings are good, or their titles are good, their photos are good. So let's look at organically, how do you increase your impressions? How do you get more impressions organically? First thing, I would definitely pull a listing quality report. Organic means these are ways to get more eyes on your items without paying for it. So definitely pull a listing quality report. I'll link a video up here, but what this report does is it compares your listings to the top 10% of sellers on eBay and what you're doing compared to them. Get to that top 10%. Do what that top 10% is doing, because obviously they're top 10%. So pull a listing quality report and work on improving some of those. It's going to be item specifics, SEOs, possibly it's going to tell you to promote more. In-demand inventory, I think you're already there. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is organic ways to get your items seen on eBay. It's going to be things like sales, best offers, free shipping. And that is going to work because, look, friends, as someone's searching organically, this is where organic traffic is coming from. As someone is searching women's jeans, 1.2 million pairs of women's jeans, they're searching to get down to less, right? They're not going to scroll through 1.2 million two jeans. They're going to come over here. These are all of our item specifics on the left. They're going to click on these, and as they click on these, they're going to say, hey, I want a size large. So when they click on the size large and they click on boot cut, and then they come down, right? Now we're down to 300,000. Right? So that's where your item specifics matter. And if we looked at their item, we're going to scroll up. No, we're going to scroll down. If we look at their item specifics are lacking. They need to increase their item specifics because their items are simply not being seen, because people are going through and filtering, and they're filtering out their item. So it can't be purchased because it's not even being seen. On this same note, if we scroll down here, you can scroll down and say, hey, I want, all of these different things. I want free shipping. I want free returns. I want returns accepted. I want all of these different things that the buyer can be clicking on. If you don't have them, your item is no longer being seen. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to be the best for your practice. I don't do free shipping. It didn't make sense for me. I looked at it, I did analysis, and it didn't work for me. But the more of these boxes that you can have checked, the more visibility, the more traffic you're getting that goes into offers, that it goes into sales, right? So based off of this, they need to work on their organic impressions. Let's take a look at their listing again and talk about organic impressions, what they can do to increase some of their organic impressions. So one thing is they need to work on being top rated seller. This eBay is going to give them more exposure strictly off of becoming top rated seller. I'll link a video up here on how to become top rated seller. I would work as hard as I could to get to top rated seller plus. They're at 96 sales, so they just need a couple more to push them into that 100% sale, and then make sure that all of their metrics check out to be top rated. That is number one. What I would focus on right now is working on becoming top rated, especially because you're so close. And then other things that you can do, you do not have offers accepted. Again, you don't have to actually accept the offer, but if someone is, that's the wrong one. If someone is coming down here and saying, they've changed this a little bit, accepts offers, they click on that, you don't have an accept offer on, you're no longer even in the running field. The running field, is that a sports analogy? You're no longer even being seen. There's not even an option of them buying you because they have now filtered you out, right? This is a way to work on your traffic. So I would add accept offers to everything. You don't have to accept them, but having that is simply going to give you more options. The other thing I would work on, especially in women's fashion, look at your competition. On eBay, 80% of buyers, eBay said on their Facebook page recently, are looking at return policies. In women's fashion, look at the categories that you guys are in, but in women's fashion, 30-day returns, free returns is pretty standard. That's what your competition is doing. If you can't do that, it is going to lower your sales. I'll link a video up here on how to figure out if return shipping is right for you. But if you do that, you're top rated and then you become a top rated seller plus item, you're getting a discount in fees as well. So that's a way for eBay that eBay helps you offset it. That's another way to get visibility. And honestly, it's something that in women's fashion, when there's 1.2 million of these same items, someone else is offering free returns, they're going to buy from them. If you are selling and you're the only category, or you're the only item out there, then no, you don't have to do it. But that is absolutely going to help you convert to a sale, but it's also going to help you on the search engine to get more traffic as well, right? Okay, so now we're going to scroll down here. I want to look at their shipping and return policies as well. Like I said, their returns is fine, or their shipping is fine. That seems like a pretty average cost. They can look at it, but it seems like a pretty average cost. So they do have some international shipping turned on. It looks like shipping and handling. Oh, ships to United States. So turning on international shipping can help as well. It broadens your base of people, potential buyers, is going to broaden that. I'll link a video up here because eBay recently has a new international shipping program that is supposed to be lower for buyers, and it's also super easy for sellers as well. So consider turning that on as well. The other thing I'm going to say is 2 business days. Now, if you cannot get to 1 business day and you're going to get late shipments, then don't do it, because having late shipments is actually worse. It's going to put you below standard if that happens on a regular basis, and that's actually worse. If you can get to a place where you have 1 business day, you are in a highly competitive marketplace on eBay. If you can get to that place, it's buyer behavior. People are going to be appreciating that as well. And then, like I said, the free returns. I want to take a look at their store really quickly because there are a couple things on their store that they can increase as well. So increasing their followers, getting more people to come back to their store. This is repeat buyers. Repeat buyers are going to spend more money. Repeat buyers are more loyal and willing to, they want to buy from you. And once you increase that, you have a store, you can send out newsletters and say, hey, I'm running a coupon especially for you, and get more sales simply from doing that as well. I would work on beefing this up a little bit. This doesn't tell me any reason that you're different than any other seller out there. Why are you doing it? Why is your inventory better? Why? Something that makes you a little bit different than all of the other million clothing or eBay sellers out there as well. As we scroll down too, we talked about having offers on. They do have a sale on some of their items. I would run a sale on everything. It doesn't have to be a huge sale. It's not for the price point, friends. It's for the coming up in more places, right? So if you scroll down all the way down to the top, there is a deals and savings. Someone clicks on that, your item's not on sale, you're not being seen anymore, right? So it doesn't necessarily a price point, stay competitive. Definitely have competitive pricing, but it's not necessarily for the pricing standpoint, it's from the coming up in more searches standpoint. And then one other thing that I'm going to mention as far as their store goes, their store setup is really beautiful. I would add as many of the store features as you can. One of the things that I see missing here is I can't think of what it's called. I want to say banner, but I don't think that's it. But you can go in and say, hey, I'm currently having this sale listed. Here's some current inventory, kind of like a little advertisement on your store. Overall, I think their reselling is really great and they know what they're doing for reselling. They just need to work a little bit on increasing some of those things on eBay. If you guys like this video, do make sure to like, save, comment, and share, and consider joining my memberships for more content like this.